recently we have been reading quite a few short stories together. And of course, I can guide you on some short stories and we can learn them together. But maybe you want to find some short stories of your own and try them out by yourself. Well, how do you go about doing that? Well, today I'm going to spend a few minutes to show you where I find short stories for our videos, for our streams, and maybe you can check out these websites and give them a try and see if there's anything you want to read on your own. Some of these are a little bit difficult, of course, but it doesn't hurt to try, right? So let's take a look at two different websites. We'll start with the one we've used to find some of our short stories. Before we've read Peter Rabbit, we read Winnie the Pooh, we read The Tale of Benjamin Bunny, and a few others. And I get them from a certain website called Project Gutenberg. Project Gutenberg is a really cool website and it's all free. So the big thing about our talk today is that the things I'm going to recommend to you are all free because life is expensive. Food and apartments and cars and trains, everything costs money. And sometimes and studying can cost money too. But if you choose stories that are free, that's another way to save a little bit of money. And if you're doing it for yourself. So Project Gutenberg has a collection of 70,000 free ebooks. Now, an ebook is E for electronic book. So a book on your computer or a book on your electronic reader. In America, we have Kindles. There are a lot of different things. An e-reader, it's a thing for reading ebooks. Or you could even read it on your phone, right? So this website has tons of free ebooks. And how does that work? Why do they have free books? Is it illegal? No. All of these books are completely free and it's legal. They're following the rules and they're doing a good thing. So the way it works is that Project Gutenberg collects lots of public domain stories. If something is in the public domain, that means that anyone can use it for free. And how does something become public domain? Well, if someone makes something or writes something, they can make it public domain right away. But that means they won't make any money and they can't really sell it. But so new stories are usually not public domain. Another way for things to become public domain is if it's really old. So when someone writes a book, it is copyrighted. So that means that if I write a book, it is my book and you cannot copy it unless you pay me. But if I die and then 50 years later or many, many years later, somebody wants the book, it becomes public domain. So public domain, I don't remember the number of years, but many, many years after a book is published and the author has passed away, a book can become public domain, meaning that it's free for anyone to use. And so this website collects lots and lots and lots of public domain books. And so let's just choose one from right here on the front. Let's say the art on this one looks kind of cool. So click it. It says Amazing Stories. And it's titled Electro Episoded in AD 2025. So it's about the future. Not very far in the future, but maybe when it was written, it was very far in the future. And when you use this website, you can see a few different things. there's read online. If we click that, you can see the book is just right here on the website. And you can read it on your computer or on your tablet. And this story, you can see, was written in 1927. So for them, 2025 was far in the future. Kind of crazy. I wonder what they say in this. Or I wonder what they think the future was like. I might read this later. So you can read it on the website or on your tablet or something. Or you can also download it for your e-reader or whatever. So EPUB is a kind of file. Kindle is an e-reader from Amazon, so an Amazon Kindle. You can also get plain text, so it's just like a text file. Very simple, but you could put it on anything. Or you can get a zip file. I forget what's inside. Maybe images. What the heck? Well, I don't know. I think it's just the website version. But for me, I usually do the read online. But for you, you might want an EPUB or EPUB 3 because those go on a e-reader. So that's it. You can find lots of books. Now, how do you find something you want? Well, you can always search. Like for me, I was searching Winnie the Pooh. And then there we go. We find Winnie the Pooh. And we can read it online. And if you were with me reading the story together, you see what we read together. Here's that map. Here's Christopher Robin. And here's the story right there. I moved it around. I copied and pasted. But I just was able to use this story during our live stream so we could learn it together. And that's pretty cool, right? Now, but what if you don't know what you want to read? Well, you can go here and just try something, but that might be really hard. So at the top, there's search and browse. What I would recommend is you can go to frequently downloaded. Frequently means often. And so frequently downloaded means things that people download a lot, very often, okay? And so when we go to this website, we can see what's popular on the website. And so let's go top 100 ebooks yesterday. So that would tell us that it's very popular right now. Number 1 is Romeo and Juliet, of course. And so you might see these change quickly if it's just from yesterday. Or you could do the top 100 ebooks from the last 30 days. And so it's similar because these are all old stories. The popular things are going to stay popular. So you'll see here lots of really famous books. Now, a lot of these are full novels, and they might be really long. They might be difficult. Like, let's see. You might try something like Little Women. How many pages is it? Or how long is this? Oh my God, that's a long story. And it just keeps on going. It's very, very, very long. Does it say how many pages? I don't know. But these are all full books. And some of them are very long. So you might find something you want to try, but they might be too difficult or too long. Another thing you can do trying on Project Gutenberg, go to search and browse, hit bookshelves. And this will give some categories. So you can choose something that sounds interesting. Like let's say, let's see. You want to learn about... Oh, you could try children's fiction. That might be easier. So then we can see what's popular, and then you can see the number of downloads. So that shows how popular it is. So we could try the Railway Children, and maybe it might be a little bit difficult, but not as hard as something like a long, long novel. Okay? Let's see. And, okay. I think that's about it for Project Gutenberg. I think you could try, find the top 100 ebooks or the top 100 authors, and then you could try like something like that. But these are really long stories, like I said, right? So how do you find short stories? Project Gutenberg is great for everything. They have everything that is free and public domain, but that can be too much. So how to help you find something, there's a different website. This is called the Library of Short Stories. And this is a website that someone created to help people like you and me find short stories to read. And the same thing, all of the stories on this website are free and open, not free and open source, they're free and public domain. And so we're not stealing. All of these are open for everyone to use and read because they're very old. So just be ready. Some of the stories are old. Some of the words they use might be a little bit old, but they're still really good stories. So right away, we see a button that says Browse the Library. If we go down, there's New Stories. They're not new, but they're new for this library. And then we also have some categories. We have classics, like stories that many, many people know. And then we have librarian's picks. So the person who made this website gives us some recommendations. Okay? So we can start anywhere, but let's go start with that big button. Click Browse the Library. And when we see this, we see 1,000 plus short stories. And so right away we find some different things to try. And there's a 3-star story. We see 4-star. And I think all of these are rated based on the person who made the website and how much they like the story. And I'm not sure if it's just that one person, but it gives you a feeling of like how good people think about it. Let's see. Is there Sherlock Holmes? Oh, all of these are Sherlock Holmes. Arthur Conan Doyle wrote about the detective Sherlock Holmes, who's Fuermosi, Sherlock Holmes. So there are many of his stories here. And then the good thing about this website is it says the title. Oh, I can't highlight. It says the author. It says when it was published. So this was 1921. It also tells you how long the story is. 5,639 words. And then this tells you how long it might take to read. Now, this is for a native speaker. So if I read it, it might take me 23 minutes. But for you, if there are difficult words, it might take a little bit longer. But if you look at this time, it can give you a feeling for how big the story is. Like this one says 46 minutes and it's 11,000 words. So maybe that might be kind of long for just a short story. Let's see. And then here's another one. The Alchemist by H.P. Lovecraft. He wrote a lot of horror stories, like scary stories. This one's 3,679 words, 15 minutes for a native speaker to read. So for you, maybe like a half hour? I'm not sure. Depends how good you are at reading. But something like this might be a better choice. It might take some time, but you can try. And then here it tells you the genre. Genre means the kind of story. Gothic means like spooky. And mystery means you want to know what happens. And then a little summary of what happens in the story to give you an idea if it sounds interesting. Pretty cool, right? And then down here, there are different options. There's a PDF. You can click that and it opens up in a new window. It's just a PDF. So you can put that in your e-reader. There's an EPUB. I don't know if it will open up a download. You can't. So EPUB is good for your e-reader. And then here, recommended is on their website. And so it has it. Oh, let's see. Oh, this is a review. And then read is the part where it's on the website where you can read it. Okay? Let's see. Yeah. So there you go. This one doesn't have any pictures, so all of the options are kind of the same. Now, you can look at this list and choose something. Oh, 285 words, 2 minutes, poetry. Let's try that one. You could try finding something that way. Or you can also sort them. Right now, they're sorted by title. You can see over in the top right. You can also click it and change it to length. So, okay, these are the longest ones, 19,000 words. We can flip it. Now we get the short ones. We have 53 words, super short. So it's 1 minute long. And it's a children's fable, a children's little story about a story teaching a lesson. So you can read that, and there it is. That's the whole story. Pretty good, right? Now, another option, well, let's finish with length. So length, you could find some poems, some children's stories, or you could go down a little bit and get to like, they're still short stories, but they're still pretty short, like 300 words, 400 words, and we keep going, just keeps on going. Then we can get to, H.P. Lovecraft, that guy who likes scary stories. This one's 700 words. Okay, that's not too long for a story, right? You could probably handle that. 3 minutes for a native speaker, maybe that's 10 minutes of reading practice for you. Or maybe 20 minutes if you write down lots of words. So, maybe longer because H.P. Lovecraft uses lots of difficult words. But you get the idea. Another choice would be filter by rating. Rating means, like, if it's 5 stars, the person who made the website thinks it's amazing. I think that's who gave the rating. But if it has 5 stars, you know it's going to be a good story or a good poem. So some of this is poetry. Okay? Okay, and then year and source. Source means where it came from. Because, yeah, some of these are like amazing stories. Oh, whatever. I don't sort by source. And then, the year doesn't really matter. If you know the author, this might be useful, but I go in looking for something that's new. So I don't really need to know who the author is. Okay. So that's just the library, the big list. You can use these filters in the order and stuff. Filter. You can also change the genre. Let's say you don't like horror, but you do like science fiction, sci-fi. And maybe you want something that's, let's just do sci-fi. And so then close, and we get some science fiction stories. Cool. That's what I like, science fiction. Okay. The library also has some cool stuff. Like we said, there are some librarian's picks. You can always go to the classics, and there's just a short list of like really, really, really famous stories. You could try those. You could also go to librarian's picks, And these are some that the librarian really likes. Maybe they're not famous, but these are ones that the person who made this website thinks are really good. Okay. There's one other part. I think it's, discover. Up here, there's discover, and then there's the best of genre. So, like I said, I like science fiction. Maybe you like fantasy. You like stories about magic. Or you want something easier. You want children's. So you could find children's books here. So you can go find, let's try fantasy. And you see recommendations of books that are fantasy. Okay? Another thing in Discover is the themed collections. And so these are short stories, or like groups of short stories that have some sort of connection to each other. So here, To Boldly Go, Moons, Planets, and Spaceships. So these stories are all about going into space and exploring. That sounds like something I would like. And so click in that, and we get some recommendations and some short explanations of why you should try that story. And then read, and then there's the story right away. Okay? Let's see. Recommended. Oh, and then if you go to Discover Recommended, we get some little short reviews. So they say why these books are good. And they're only like a sentence or two, so that could be good reading practice too. So let's see. To fall in love with the perfect woman is to fall out of love with any woman who is real. Dun, dun, dun. So maybe that's a little too dark or sad. It's saying to fall in love with the perfect woman is to fall out of love with any woman who is real. So this quote is saying that no one is perfect. If you're always looking for the perfect woman, you might be disappointed. True about anything, right? If you're looking for the perfect anything, you might be looking forever. Okay. I think that's about it for this website. You can click around and explore a little bit more if you want. I think this website's really cool. I've found some really fun short stories from it, and I hope you do too. So, that's about it for today. That's like the way I like to find stories to read. Stories to share with you, and also stories to read myself. Let's double check this. Our popular books. Let's see, advanced search. Yeah, I think Project Gutenberg is really good because it has everything. But I think if you're trying to find something that you want to read now, I think the library of short stories will probably be the best choice for you. So I think we can keep today short, and we can stop here for now. So I hope you found this useful and interesting. We can try Project Gutenberg to find anything that is in the public domain. So if there's some very, very old story that you always wanted to try to read, like Romeo and Juliet, maybe A Christmas Carol, or something like that, you could try to find it there. Project Gutenberg is great for any kind of book, but they can be really long, right? So the second choice is the Library of Short Stories. And I'll put links down below so you can try to find these websites and try them out yourself. And I think the Library of Short Stories, because you can filter and change the length or select the length of the stories, I think it's a great way to find something that you're interested in, and also something that's not too long. So good luck out there. Try to read something something wonderful. And if you find any really good books or really cool stories, please share a link with me and share a link with your classmates. Okay? So let's stop here for today. Thank you everyone for joining, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.